With counting to continue, our analysts predict the nation's Liberal National Coalition has lost at least 20 seats in Parliament, and the opposition leader Peter Dutton has been ousted from his own seat by a Labor candidate. Labor picked up 34.7% of the primary vote, compared to almost 32% for the Liberals. But on a national two-party preferred basis, Labor has 54.9% of the votes, to the Liberals 45.1%. After their landslide victories 3 years ago, the Greens are struggling in numerous seats in the lower house, but will still hold the balance of power in the Senate. We start our coverage tonight with Chief Political Correspondent Anna Henderson.
Victory beyond the wildest of Labor's political fever dreams.
It is with a deep sense of humility and a profound sense of responsibility that the first thing that I do tonight is to say thank you to the people of Australia for the chance to continue to serve the best nation on earth.
Sweeping the board in parts of the country in astonishing circumstances.
Labor is the only party in a position to form government, whether it's minority or majority.
The opposition leader facing a devastating repudiation.
I said to the Prime Minister that his mum would be incredibly proud of his achievement tonight, and he should be very proud of what he's achieved.
And cast out of the nation's parliament.
We didn't do well enough during this campaign, that much is obvious tonight, and I accept full responsibility for that.
The Liberals cleared out of some cities, Tasmania painted red, Adelaide also hit by the Labor wave, the West a matter of consolidation and new wins.
A majority Labor government promised and delivered.
I was nervous, and then I know the resort and I was screaming. I think and everywhere in my street they scream.
I feel like the people of Australia wanted stability, and that's what they got.
I think it reflects Australian society and what we're willing to put up with.
We're part of the generation that's been favoured, and it's about time things went in a direction that was better for younger people.
As the Greens suffer pain, the leader's grasp on his own electorate on a knife edge.
And I want you to remember that last time a number of the seats, including seats that we won, took quite a while to come in.
Most independents holding on. Teal numbers could even be bolstered.
You have to have your community on board to stay in Parliament.
The coalition left to pick up the pieces, now to apportion the internal blame over lurches to Trumpian policies.
In terms of wanting this country to be great, Donald Trump doesn't own those 4 words, right?
And an unpopular energy offering.
I don't think nuclear was the reason we lost this. I think this was a smick campaign by Labor, destroying Peter Dutton's character.
Labor's Medicare scare campaign also playing a key role.
This card is not Labor red or Liberal blue, it is green and gold.
Despite the coalition matching Labor's big spend.
I know the Liberals are unhappy about the fact that we repeatedly highlighted Peter Dutton's record as Health Minister, but it is his record.
The failure of the Voice to Parliament referendum in the end not a portent of electoral damage.
I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging today and every day.
Labor ascendant.
In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination.
A leader who came to fight Tories, all but destroying their chances of a rebuild before the next election. Anna Henderson, SBS World News.
Our reporters were with the leaders as those results came in. Political correspondent Naveen Razik was with the Prime Minister in Sydney.
There was confidence in the Labor camp as the Prime Minister watched the results roll in last night here at Kirribilli House, but not even party insiders were quite expecting this. We were thinking it could be a long and uncertain night. Instead, the verdict from voters was decisive and it came well before the deadline of the morning front pages. The Prime Minister last night told the crowd the work of government resumes today, but there were some celebrations as well.
Who wants?
Savouring success.
You scooped up a few seats.
We have scooped up more than a few.
And the taste?
It's satisfying, but also very, very humbling, the extent of the victory.
With respect for his rival.
I feel for Peter Dutton. He was generous in his comments. I wish him and Kirrily and his family all the best.
The first of the victory laps through the floor of the raucous Labor headquarters. Anthony Albanese parting the sea of red to give his thanks to the bar staff. This morning on the familiar streets of Grayndler, cheers. And later, full-strength beers, toasting re-elections of marginal members past and future.
I mean, this was beyond our most optimistic expectations.
Some true believers crediting divine intervention.
This time last week, of course, I was at St Peter's Basilica, and I did say a little prayer for him. Perhaps the old Pope Francis heard it and granted my wish.
The name Anthony Albanese will now go down in Labor folklore, not just delivering a second victory, but a landslide. The question now, will Labor lift its ambition with this second term mandate?
This is a time of profound opportunity for our nation. We have everything we need to seize this moment and make it our own.
I've already had a briefing from the Treasury Secretary this morning at 7:15.
The Treasury flagging an economic shift.
First term was primarily inflation without forgetting productivity. The second term will be primarily productivity without forgetting inflation.
The second term after a dream campaign run. The Dutton government still formidable.
The Liberal Party has today gone to ground as members consider who will replace Peter Dutton as opposition leader. Four names have been thrown up in discussions today. Front benchers Angus Taylor, Susan Lee, Andrew Hastie and Dan Tehan. That process could take several days or weeks, what will take significantly longer is a period of soul searching as the Liberal Party considers what it stands for in 2025 and who it represents.
The end of a 24-year career. Peter Dutton flanked by family as he faced the party faithful.
Tonight's not a night that we wanted.
Addressing colleagues who lost their seats directly.
I'm sorry for that.
And his rival, France, who unseated him.
She'll do a good job as a local member for Dixon, and I wish her all the very best.
Lining up in Brisbane this morning, Ailey France among 7 new female Labor MPs in Queensland.
We all woke up to a big red wave.
Revealing she considered not running when her late son Henry relapsed with leukemia last year.
And he said to me, "No, Mum, you're going to win it this time."
This historic result marks the first time an opposition leader has lost his seat ever in a federal election. Peter Dutton believed this vote would be a referendum on Labor's leadership. Instead, it was a referendum on Peter Dutton himself.
He is a man I trust. He genuinely is, and he is a nice guy despite what image has been portrayed of him.
As moderate Liberals in major cities urge a realignment.
Our party has an issue in urban Australia, which is where most people live.
Critical of the campaign's focus on past leaders and apparent nods to new ones. In a campaign mired by policy backflips on work-from-home bans.
I think we've made a mistake.
Not a single visit to a proposed nuclear power site and a lack of detail on migration cuts.
Is the Coalition planning to cut parent visas?
We're not going to reduce those.
Peter Dutton struggled to sell his economic plan under persistent pressure.